Hi everybody, this is Property with Leonard and welcome to another episode. Now on this channel we discuss property, finance and investments. Now please note that none of my videos constitutes as financial advice, but if you're looking for financial advice, please speak to an accredited and registered financial advisor. Now when my wife and I got married, like all other young couples, we had big dreams of owning our own house one day, our own property. You paint this perfect picture in your mind, the white picket fences, the children playing on the swings and the pets and that sense of community safety, that sense of belonging. But with a little bit of money that we earned back then when we started out, like most of you, and with all the other financial challenges that people with similar background than ours had at the time, we had to have a clear plan to make things work for us and to make our dream come true. So what we did, we created a 10-year plan with the intention that we would pay off all our debt, we would save enough money for a down payment, and we would own our dream home within 10 years of getting married. I always tell people that your first home is seldom your dream home, and there's nothing wrong with it. You need to get that. We all have to start somewhere. We all run our own race. And just on that point, I also have a motivational channel called Life with Leonard, where I talk about things like this, where I inspire people like you to become the best version of yourself. And I'll leave a link to that channel in the description below, or you can just click on the banner on top. It'll take you to that channel, my motivational channel. And I'd be lying to you if I say that even with the plan, we most definitely had financial setbacks, and it seemed to pull us away from our goal, but we kept at it. We kept working hard, and eventually we paid off all our debt and saved enough money for a down payment on our dream home. And to those of you who've been with me for a while on this channel, subscribing to my channel, watching my videos and sharing, etc., you would know that I have owned numerous properties over the years, and I still do. But we eventually bought our dream home, I think about 4 months after our 10-year anniversary. And in this video, I'm going to share with you and give you some tips and advice on how you too can save for your dream home. Now, whether it's your dream home, your first home, or whatever, I'm most definitely sure that the things that I'm going to share with you and discuss in this video will most definitely help you, whether you're a first-time buyer or doesn't really matter. So my very first piece of advice to you is decide on your budget. Now, prior to even looking at homes, you need to decide what amount you can afford comfortably. Now, what the bank may say you can afford might be drastically different from what you actually can afford. I recorded an episode on it is one of my most popular videos on my channel, where I discuss the hidden costs of buying a property, and I would advise you to go watch that episode, and I'll leave a link to that episode in the description below, or once again you can just click on the banner on top. It's important that you calculate your total home costs, and these things include obviously your mortgage repayments, your property taxes and home insurance, which can often add several thousands of rands to your total mortgage repayment per month. Deposits are strongly advisable, even if the bank do not insist that you pay a deposit, because if you pay a deposit, it helps reduce your monthly payment, your down payments, as I mentioned, as well as it puts you into a better position to negotiate for a better interest rate. A 1% reduction in interest rate might not sound like a lot to you, but on say a 2 million rand bond, the saving over the mortgage repayment period, which is normally about 20 years, plus minus, it could be in the thousands of rands. So it is very important. I would strongly advise that you pay a deposit whenever you purchase a property. The second piece of advice that I would like to share with you, consider downsizing. Everybody knows about this one, but no one really wants to do it, because it's always about what will the people say, and what about my image, what will the people think of me, those snobby things. May I just remind you here that this is your plan. It's not about them. It is your plan. It's not someone else's plan. Don't you be one of those people who spend the money that they haven't earned to buy the things that they don't need to impress the people that they don't like. Don't you be a fool. This is your one fast way to save money towards a down payment is downsizing. Downsizing is the process of you reducing your expenses and living below your means while you save. And when you downsize, you reduce the amount you pay for necessary expenses, and instead you divert that money, that cash, into a savings account. Moving to a smaller apartment, for instance, selling one of your family's extra vehicles, or moving to a more affordable area area. I mean, those things are all great ways to downsize. And the next one on my list might be pretty obvious, but let me just remind you. Pay off your debt. Now, the general rule of thumb is that your housing cost, your cost of your property, should never exceed 1/3 of your total income. I mean, your monthly down payment. However, if you have other debts, such as a car loan, a student loan, or credit cards, they could easily limit the amount of money you can put down on a mortgage or a deposit, for instance. So consider paying down some of your debts first. When you do it, it will not only help alleviate some of the financial pressure, but also help you secure a better mortgage rate, as I mentioned earlier. Now, the fourth one on my list is something that you might feel a bit awkward to do, but don't worry about it. Just go and ask for a raise. If you have little money left over to save after you get paid, it might be time to ask for a raise. Now, I am going to do a video pretty soon on how you can ask your boss for a raise. Well, maybe I should put it out there. I haven't really recorded it yet. I actually got the idea from while I researched this video. So if you'd like me to record a video like that to help you, give you some tips and advice on how to ask your boss for a raise, please let me know in the comment section below. But while we're at it and we're discussing this, let me just squeeze in perhaps one or two small little pieces of advice, things that you can use in the interim. I will make a full video on this topic. You must make sure that the time is right when asking your boss for a raise. Now, timing a salary conversation is the best way to set yourself up for success. And here I mean, avoid asking your manager or your boss for a meeting during a hectic project or when time is at a premium. You know, the best time to ask for a raise is during your annual performance review, or perhaps during the weeks after completing a big project. I mean, that's also an excellent choice. And also very important, be confident but grateful. You know, your attitude during a salary discussion, during that meeting, is just as important as what you say. Be confident in what you are saying, but also be grateful and enthusiastic. Let your manager know that you envision yourself growing with the company and that you're excited to take on more responsibilities. Like I said, you are selling yourself. Be enthusiastic, be positive. And the next point on my list is pay your future mortgage. So what do I mean by that? For almost a year before you buy a house or your dream home, whatever, it's advisable to start living as if you were already paying that mortgage. And this means that in addition to your current rent, put the difference between your rent and the assumed future mortgage payment into a savings account. This is a great way to go about, because this habit, it will get you used to the idea of paying a bigger mortgage on the one side, and the bonus side is that you'll also be able to save towards your dream home. And the next one is pretty obvious, but it's on my list because it's important that you are reminded, very importantly, to reduce your expenses. Now, if you're trying to figure out how and where to save money, if you already feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck, start by reducing your expenses. Even if you just start with a 10% reduction across the board. That means if your grocery budget is 5,000 in a month, which is almost impossible these days. I wonder how much, I'm just thinking now, I wonder how much you actually pay your grocery expenses actually is per month, the actual amount. And if you know, just let us know in the comment section below what do you spend on groceries every month? What's the amount? Let us know in the comment section below. So start there, reduce it by 10%. And there's a couple of things you can do. Firstly, by buying house brand items instead of the ones that comes in fancy packaging. Often the only difference is not the quality of the product. That's not really the difference. It's just the quality of the packaging, and you pay a premium for it. You have to make sacrifices somewhere, and it's not forever. You're working with a plan here. It might not be a huge difference, but the money will add up when you apply these simple techniques to all your expenses, and trust me, it works. And soon enough, you'll have enough money saved for that down payment. Just remember, this is very important as well, to give yourself time to save enough money. It's a marathon and not a sprint. There are obviously a few more ways you can earn and save money, like selling stuff that you don't need, downgrading your car, setting up a side hustle to earn extra income, sticking to a strict budget, eating in rather than eating out. All those things are important basics for saving. that you can use before buying a house. And these are things that's attainable, everybody. You can do it. I mean, you've watched this video thus far, and I'm sure you've been thinking, and I hope that you've made notes, because these are things that's within your reach. And a lot of us have done it. Some of us are doing it still to this day. We've done it, and trust me, you can do it as well. Know what you want and take steps, the necessary steps to achieve your goal. And let me put it to you this way, it's not going to be easy. It's going to get tough. And sometimes when you think it can't get worse, it does. But keep your eyes on the prize. Focus on your goal. And remember, once again, I'm just mentioning it, this is your life. Don't live it through other people. Don't live it to impress others. I mean, your time will come. It sometimes takes longer for some of us to achieve our goals. But if you are persistent, persistency always wins. Thank you so much, everybody, for once again joining me on today's episode. Now, if this episode was of value to you, can I kindly ask you, if you haven't, to please subscribe to my channel, to like this video, to share it, and leave me a comment in the comment section below. And in case you're still wondering, subscribing is really easy. You can just click that subscriber button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and please remember to hit the all notifications, and that way you will be notified and you won't miss out whenever I upload new videos. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next episode. Stay blessed.